if you're planning to buy a drink package on your 2026 cruise, you need to watch this video right now, because the new rules that just went into effect could cost you over $500 in wasted money if you don't know what you're doing. Hi, I'm Eric with Empty Nester Cruising, and I just spent the last 3 weeks analyzing the new 2026 drink package policies from every major cruise line. And what I found kind of shocked me. These aren't some small tweaks. These are major changes that completely flip the script on whether drink packages are even worth it anymore for travelers like us. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to be breaking down the 6 critical new rules you must know before you book. And I'm going to show you exactly how to calculate whether a drink package will save you money or cost you hundreds of dollars you don't need to spend. Before we dive in, this is video number 2 in my complete 2026 cruise rules series. If you haven't watched video number 1 on the new luggage rules yet, I'll put a link in the description. Those changes are just as important as what we're covering today. And make sure you're subscribed, because videos number 3 through 6 are coming in the next couple of weeks. They're going to be covering Mediterranean port fees, digital check-in changes, shore excursion secrets, and special rules for senior cruisers. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of them. Rule number 1 is the biggest game changer, and it affects every couple watching this video. Starting in 2026, if one person in your cabin wants to buy a drink package, both people must purchase it. This is now mandatory across Carnival, Royal, Norwegian, and Princess. Yes, I know those of you that have traveled and like to have drink packages, this is not necessarily anything new, but used to be there were loopholes and there were ways to get around it, and there were exceptions that were allowed. Those cruise lines that I just mentioned have basically come out and said, yep, nope, no more, done. Now let me give you a real world example of how this impacts empty nesters specifically. Susan and Tom are from my Facebook group. Susan loves her wine with dinner and some cocktails by the pool. She easily drinks 5 to 6 drinks per day while she's on the cruise. Tom, not so much. He's perfectly happy with water, coffee, and maybe 1 beer at dinner. Under the old rules, Susan could buy the deluxe drink package for $65 per day, and Tom could just pay as he goes for his 1 beer. Total cost for the 7-day cruise, roughly $511. Now with the enforcement, Tom is required to buy the package as well, even though he won't use it. Now they're paying $910 for the same amount of drinks on that cruise. That's almost a $400 increase. So for us empty nesters, disproportionately affects couples in our age group, because let's be honest, many of us have different drinking habits than we did in our 20s and 30s. Maybe one of you has cut back for health reasons, or you're on medications that don't mix very well with alcohol, or you just simply prefer other beverages. So here's the workaround. It might not really be a workaround, but here's what you need to know. This rule only applies to adults in the same cabin. If you book 2 separate cabins, which some empty nesters do anyway for the extra space, you can each make your own choice. Run the numbers. Sometimes booking 2 interior cabins costs less than a balcony, and you get that drink package flexibility. So before booking, calculate your actual daily drink consumption. Be honest. If the non-drinking spouse would need to consume at least 4 to 5 drinks per day just to break even, package probably isn't worth it anymore. Rule number 2. Price increases and tiered pricing. Drink package prices are going up in 2026. No real big surprise. But unfortunately, they're also introducing tiered pricing based on your ship and sail date. Here's some new numbers you need to know. Royal Caribbean 2026 Deluxe Beverage Package. Caribbean sailings, you're looking at $75 to $89 per person per day, which is an increase from $65 to $75 in 2025. European sailings, $89 to $99 per person per day, which is an increase from last year pricing, which was $75 to $85 per person per day. Alaska sailings, $75 to $89 per person per day versus $70 to $80. Now, Carnival's 2026 Cheers packages. Standard sailings, $70 to $82 per person per day instead of $60 to $70. Peak season, so holidays and in the summertime, $82 to $95 per person per day. And unfortunately, 15 drink daily limit is reduced to 12 drink daily limit on European sailings. Norwegian's 2026 Unlimited Beverage Package, $99 to $129 per person per day, depending upon the ship, which is up from $89 to $109. The newer ships like the Prima and the Viva, they command the highest prices. Princess's 2026 Premier Beverage Package, $65 to $79 per person per day, which is up from $55 to $69. Now, note, Princess still allows individual purchases, not requiring both guests. So let's do the math for empty nesters. Let's say you're booking a 10-day Mediterranean cruise on Royal. At $95 a day for 2 people, that's $1,900 just for drinks. To break even, you'd each need to consume 6 to 7 drinks per day at $15 average cost. So ask yourself honestly, will you drink 6 to 7 alcoholic beverages every single day for 10 days straight? Most travelers over 55, the answer is probably no. Better strategy. Consider buying drinks a la carte and setting a daily budget. Even if you spend $50 per day on drinks for 2 people, that's only $500 for the cruise, a $1,400 savings over the packages. Little pro tip, cruise lines often offer 20 to 30% discounts on drink packages if you buy them before your cruise during the promotional periods. Set up some price alerts and wait for the sales. But even with a discount, still run that break-even calculation. Rule number 3, excluded beverages and hidden restrictions. This rule is all about what's not covered anymore. And this is where cruise lines are getting sneaky with the fine print. So what's new to the exclusion list in 2026? Premium specialty coffees over $8. That $12 latte from the specialty coffee shop, not covered anymore on most cruise lines. Only basic espresso drinks under $8 are included. Who does that impact? Well, the empty nesters who love their morning specialty coffee ritual. What else is excluded? Bottles of wine over $50. Used to be bottles up to $100 were included. It's now capped at $50 on Royal and Norwegian. So if you order a $75, you pay the $25 difference plus 20% gratuity on the full amount. Fresh squeezed juices. Many packages now exclude fresh juices from the specialty menus. Only fountain/packaged juices are covered. That $8 fresh orange juice at breakfast, you're paying out of pocket. The souvenir glassware drinks, those fun souvenir cups and glasses, they're now excluded. You will pay $15 to $25 extra for the glass, even with the package. Room service beverages after midnight. Now, there are new time restrictions on when packages apply to room service. Midnight to 6 a.m., that window now excludes the drink package off several lines for room service. I spoke with Linda, 62-year-old cruiser who bought the deluxe package for her January 2026 sailing. She loved starting every morning with a $10 cappuccino from the specialty cafe. Over 7 days, she spent an extra $70 on coffee. Money she thought that was covered. Then at dinner each night, she and her husband share a nice $60 bottle of wine. They had to pay the $10 difference per bottle, $70 total for the week, plus the gratuity on the full amount, which was another $98. Between the coffee and the wine, they spent $238 out of pocket, despite having the unlimited package. Nobody told them about these exclusions. So here's how to avoid this. Download the full terms and conditions PDF before buying. It's usually 8 to 12 pages. Search for the word excluded and read that section carefully. Make a list of your typical daily drinks and verify that each one is covered. If your favorites are included, calculate the real cost, including those extras. Rule number 4, pre-cruise purchase windows and penalties. Rule 4 is about when you buy your package and the new penalties if you try to cancel or modify. So the new 2026 purchase windows, the early bird discount, 120 days or more before the sailing, you get 25 to 30% off of the drink package. 90 to 119 days is 20%, 60 to 89, it's 15, 30 to 59, it's 10%, less than 30 days before a cruise, full price. This is actually good news if you plan ahead. Book your cruise early, wait for a promotional period, and you can save $200 to $300 on your package. But there is a catch. There are some new cancellation and modification penalties. So starting in 2026, if you buy a drink package and then decide to cancel it more than 30 days before sailing, there's a 25% penalty. 15 to 30 days before sailing, it's a 50% penalty. Less than 15 days before sailing, no refund, 100% penalty. Why does this matter for us empty nesters? Let's say you book your cruise 6 months out and buy the drink package at the early bird discount. Then 3 weeks before sailing, your doctor puts you on medication that doesn't mix with alcohol. Under the new rules, you'd lose 50% of what you paid, potentially $400 or $500. Or maybe you develop a health issue that changes your drinking habits, or you simply change your mind after reading reviews. Too bad, you're locked in. The medical exception loophole. There is one way out if you have a doctor's note stating medical reasons for not consuming alcohol. Most cruise lines will grant you a full refund, but you need letter on official letterhead from the doctor. The specific medical reason has to be stated, and it has to be submitted at least 7 days before sailing. It's got to be approved by the cruise line medical department, which is not an automatic. So my recommendation, don't buy the drink package more than 60 days out unless you are 100% certain. Yes, you'll miss the biggest discount, but you'll have more flexibility. The 15% discount at 60 days is still solid, and you're less likely to face life changes that force cancellation. A pro tip for couples: if any of you has any health concerns or takes medications, consult your doctor before buying the package. Get it in writing if there are any alcohol interactions. This documentation could save you hundreds if you need to cancel it. Rule number 5, daily drink limits and tracking changes. This rule addresses the daily drink limits and how cruise lines are now tracking your consumption with some pretty scary accuracy. So new daily limits. Royal Caribbean, 15 alcoholic drinks per day. Now, people are going to fight me on that one. No, Royal Caribbean's unlimited. No, they're not. If you read the paperwork, for years they have had a 15 drink limit. They've never enforced it in the past. That's about to change. Carnival, 15 drinks per day or 12 drinks per day if you're on a European sailing. Norwegian, 15 drinks a day, but now that includes specialty coffees in the count. Make sure you're aware of that. On Princess, there's no daily limit. And they're one of the few remaining cruise lines that doesn't have a limit. The big change, digital tracking. So here's what's different in 2026. Every cruise line now uses RFID-enabled cruise cards that automatically track every drink you order in real time through the app. So when you order drink number 10, your phone buzzes with a notification. You consumed 10 of your 15 daily drinks. At drink number 13, you have 2 drinks remaining today, and that resets at midnight or 6 a.m. depending upon the cruise line. At drink 15, daily limit reached. Additional drinks will be charged to your account. Or daily limit reached, you will not be able to purchase alcohol again until 6 a.m. Why are they doing this? So the old system relied on bartenders manually tracking with a pen and paper. Some of us savvy cruisers found workarounds, ordering from different bars, waiting for shift changes. Now this new digital system, it's pretty much foolproof. It doesn't matter if you order from the pool bar, the main dining room, room service, it doesn't matter. It all feeds into one database. Now let's do a quick reality check. So here's some honest truth. Most travelers over 55 don't come close to hitting these limits. If you're drinking 12 to 15 alcoholic beverages in a single day, that's concerning from a health perspective. The real issue is the psychological effect. Knowing you're being tracked can make the unlimited package feel less unlimited. Some cruisers report feeling watched or judged. What really counts toward that limit? This is crucial. You got to know what counts. So all alcoholic beverages, beer, wine, cocktails, shots, anything with alcohol is included. Specialty coffees over $5. This is new for 2026 in some lines. Soda, juice, bottled water, not counted. Basic coffee and tea, not counted. Drinks ordered for other people. There used to be a workaround. You could order 2 drinks once, one for now, one for later, or you could, somebody else could order a drink for you. The new system kind of flags this if somebody's ordering multiple drinks at the same time. There's more scrutiny. So if you try to order 2 drinks simultaneously, the bartender screen is going to show them a warning, and they're going to instruct you that they can only serve one at a time, unless you have another cruise card, room key with you. And a lot of the cruise lines are starting to not allow you to do that. They want both people there. So my take on all of this: if you're a moderate drinker who drinks 4 to 6 drinks a day, these limits won't necessarily affect you. But if you're counting on the package for heavy consumption, you got to know what the cruise lines are watching more closely than ever and decide if it's really worth it. Rule number 6, empty nester strategies that can actually work. This rule is where I give you the real strategies that work specifically for the empty nesters coming up in 2026. Strategy 1, the break-even calculator. Before buying any drink package, use this formula. cost of the package per day divided by the average drink price. That will give you a number which equals the break-even number of drinks. Package cost is $100. The average drink price is $10. That means 100 divided by 10 equals 10. You need 10 drinks to break even. Now, that was a simple math example. There are very, very few drinks on a cruise ship that are only $10. So once you know that break-even number, be honest and ask yourself, will I honestly drink X beverages every single day? If the answer is yes, boom, buy the drink package. If the answer is no, not every day, okay, now you've got a slightly more difficult decision. It's still worth it to get the drink package, or is it better off to pay per drink? Now, for the wine drinkers out there, there's kind of an extra option. So a lot of the cruise lines now have wine packages where you can get, 3 bottles of wine, 3, maybe up to 7 bottles of wine for X amount of dollars, okay? Then you can drink from those bottles of wine. Now, don't be surprised, there's a corkage fee. They're going to get you no matter what, but that still might be less costly than a full drink package. Bring your own wine. Most cruise lines still allow 1, maybe 2 bottles per person. If you're going to buy a la carte, meaning you're going to pay for each drink, and you like wine, definitely bring whatever they will allow you to bring. That's going to save you money. Another strategy is the separate cabin trick that we talked about earlier. This works particularly well if you're traveling with another couple or, your adult children or something, and your spouse doesn't drink and the other spouse doesn't drink. Well, you put the 2 non-drinkers in one cabin, the 2 drinkers in one cabin, and you actually, sleep wherever you want. Now, I've been hearing comments that people are getting questioned by the room steward as to which room you're actually sleeping in. That loophole might be going away in the not too distant future. Right now, that still works. Now, there is another, dual room strategy. I've never seen anybody do, but I have heard about it. Basically, you get 2 interior cabins with a connecting door, 2 solo cruisers. Now, you're going to pay slightly more because, you're one person in a double occupancy, depending upon what the sales are and how inexpensive that interior cabin might be. It might still work out cheaper. You got to sit down with a travel agent or price it out and see. There's fewer and fewer ways to get around paying for the drink package. Another strategy is the port day skip. Basically, you're in port for 6, 8, 10 hours. So during those days, you're not using your drink package. So make sure you add that into your calculation when you're determining whether it's worth it or not. Another strategy is the specialty dining advantage. Many specialty restaurants include wine pairings or complimentary champagne with your meal. So depending upon how many times you're going to eat at a specialty restaurant, you're going to save some money there. The medical discount. Some cruise lines offer reduced non-alcoholic beverage packages for guests who don't drink alcohol for medical, religious, or personal reasons. These usually cost $25 to $35 a day, and they're going to include most of your specialty coffees, fresh juices, soda, bottled water, some of your mocktails. If you don't drink alcohol, that's a way to spend just a little bit of money and get more variety than just basic coffee, basic tea, water, and canned juice. The one strategy that saves empty nesters the most money, I've kind of analyzed a whole bunch of cruise bookings from within my community, and here's what seems to work best. For light drinkers, say 1 to 3 drinks per day, skip the package entirely. Pay as you go. You'll spend $100, maybe $300 for the whole trip instead of $1,200 for the package. For the moderate drinkers, think 4 to 6 drinks a day. A hybrid approach works, a wine package plus a couple of a la carte cocktails. You're looking at maybe $400 to $600. For the heavy drinkers, 7+ drinks a day. The package makes sense, but still wait for that 20 to 30% promotional discount and buy it at least 90 days out. For couples with mismatched drinking habits, seriously consider 2 cabin or choose Princess, because Princess is arguably the one major cruise line that does not have that mandatory couple purchase. So here's the bottom line. Should you buy a drink package in 2026? For most empty nesters, my honest opinions, no. Not at full price with these restrictions. The mandatory couple purchase rule, the price increases, the expanded exclusion list, and the stricter tracking all add up to packages being less valuable than they were even a year ago. And this is important. If you drink 6 or more daily beverages consistently, get the drink package with that 25 to 30% pre-cruise discount, then it's worth it. So here's a suggestion for you. If you're not sure on your next cruise, if you haven't already bought the drink package yet, don't. Go on the cruise without the package. This way you can track every drink you order because you're going to be paying for them individually, okay? Drink how you would normally drink. At the end of the cruise, you're going to have a bill to pay, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to pay it for you, but now you'll know exactly, take it as that's your baseline, your average. That way you'll know, okay, yes, I drank enough to make the drink package worth it. No, I didn't. I only drank half of what it would have taken to break even. But you got to actually have a way to track it to know. That's about it. So what's next in the series? This is actually video 2 of 6 in my 2026 cruise rule change series. If you haven't watched the first video on new luggage rules, the link's going below. Now, next video is that I'm going to drop in a couple days is going to be covering the new Mediterranean port fees that could add $200 to $300 to your cruise costs. You need to know that before you book. And then the rest of the videos in the series are going to be covering digital check-in nightmares, shore excursion booking secrets, and special rules for seniors. So hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of them. These changes will affect every cruise you'll take in 2026 and beyond. And then drop me a comment below if you're planning to buy a drink package on your next cruise or you're going to go a la carte. I read every comment and I'll answer any specific questions you have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we tackle those med cruise fees. Safe travels.